Welcome to Ty and Rye, the Finance Guys Market Mini Report, a short podcast that updates you on the past week's important topics and trends. Remember, this is not an offer to sell, and past performance does not guarantee future returns. Here are Ty Hansen and Ryan Robertson.
Hello and welcome to another Market Mini. And yes, again, I am solo this week. Had a little bit of technical issues for Ryan, so I'm jumping on myself, and we'll breeze through a couple of quick pieces of information from the market this last week. So today is Friday the 16th, so the week in July ending the 16th. And let's talk about markets. It's kind of interesting watching ongoing trends and some of the cycles and things that are happening right now, because there's this underlying sense of fear and concern for correction. Mostly, just inflation, right? We keep talking about this. The kind of the key word this year in the market is inflation. So, that was a big piece of data that came out on earlier in the week, the Consumer Price Index, which measures pricing, right, and inflation on pricing for goods. It was up almost 1%, which and the percentage change, right? So that's one of the higher levels of inflation we've seen since 2008, which in and of itself is a continued part of this trend, and it's a little bit more aggressive than we'd like. However, as the Chairman Powell of the Federal Reserve continues to talk to the market and share information, the idea there is that, okay, we know we've got to have some inflation, right? That's going to happen because as interest rates are rising, supply chain issues, things like that. His expectation is that we'll see that rise into the upper twos, maybe low threes over the next 6 to 12 months. But then it's expected, in 2022, 2023 to kind of normalize and come back down into that, mid to low 2% range. So again, that's kind of this idea is, at least right now, the ideology is that yes, inflation's there. However, it should be more short-term in nature. Obviously, the biggest concern is if it spikes and it gets away from us, and we see the economy slow down, right? Because that can be one of the biggest factors that hurts us. So inflation, that's a big number. But here's kind of the conundrum. On the opposite side of the coin is retail sales were a lot higher than expected, right? Especially when you factor out automotive sales, things like that. So it's like, okay, yes, the prices are rising, but Americans are still spending money, right? The economy is still surging. We still have growth. Jobless claims were down this week. So again, that's some of my own theory here is that as long as we continue to see job growth, as long as we continue to see economic output, as long as we see those positive pieces, I think we can kind of weather this inflationary storm. Now, does that mean the markets are not going to correct? I don't think so. I think we definitely still have some volatility out there, especially where markets are so high. But does that mean it's going to be a more aggressive correction? I don't know. That's that $1 million question. But anyways, this week though, markets are down. The hardest hit definitely has been more of that small cap, and the technology NASDAQ. The market itself is down about 0.5% this week. So, nothing too aggressive, but this trend the last couple of weeks is that the markets are down. Now, the other thing to remember about this too that's interesting is there's always going to be this trying to understand, as markets hit new highs, you'll hit resistance levels, right? There's a resistance floor and a resistance ceiling, right? And so that's something to think about as well, as we're kind of testing that water of, okay, we're hitting the ceiling, we're coming down, we're hitting the ceiling, we're coming down. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks to say the least. But again, overall markets are down. Some a little bit more aggressively than others. big picture, market's still, done pretty well this year, and the economic output still looks pretty good. We're already starting to see some of the quarterly earnings trickle in, and projections are looking to be better than expected. So, that's kind of this conundrum is, yes, there's concern for inflation, but there's still strong economic output. So anyways, that's some of the major market data for the week, and appreciate you listening. Check us out on Ty and Rye, the finance guys. Website is tyandrye.com. Thanks for your listen. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to Ty and Rye, the finance guys. This is our weekly market mini report. New episodes of this will be put out every Monday, so make sure you don't miss those. Also, the longer podcast, more in-depth discussions, those will drop every Saturday. So subscribe on your favorite podcast platform, or follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Ty and Rye Podcast. That way you don't miss any new episodes. Thanks for listening, everybody. Hope you have a great week.